This episode is sponsored by me and Learn Light and Sound. We have courses on how to improve your lighting and sound for video, linked down below. Now, in this episode, we're going to play back some audio that is recorded that is a little bit harsh sounding. This is dialogue audio. This is the focus here on this channel. And we want to smooth it out. We have a new plugin that's available that we're going to demonstrate here today called Soften from Focusrite and Sonnox. Sonnox is a Focusrite brand now, as of 2022, I believe. And it's a plugin that you can run here. We're running it in DaVinci Resolve. Here is the audio that we're starting with. Best if you can use your best headphones to hear the nuances here. It was easier to know it than to explain why I know it. If you were asked to prove that 2 and 2 made 4, you might find some difficulty, and yet you are quite sure of the fact. Okay, couple things. There's a bit of sibilance. I have a fair amount of sibilance in my voice, and there's a little bit of harshness in the mid-tones. If you can't hear it yet, stick with it here. We'll be able to do some before and after so you can hear it. We've dropped in the Soften plugin right here. I'm going to go ahead and activate it. Now that we've activated the plugin, what I'm going to do is go ahead and play this back again, let it loop. And as it's doing that, we just go ahead and choose vocals because, of course, here we're working with dialogue audio. And I will increase this. I'll probably go too far. And what I'm listening for is, first of all, on the sibilance, if you push this too far, your articulation will kind of fall away, especially on the letters S and C and things like that, where sibilance usually sits. This won't let you go too far, but it can actually sound a little bit muffled at some point. With some de-essers, you can go so far that it starts to sound like a lisp every time you say the letter S. This one doesn't go that far, so that's good. But it will also take care of kind of mid-range harshness. Let's just go ahead and play it so you can hear what I'm talking about. Here we go. It was easier to know it than to explain why I know it. If you were asked to prove that 2 and 2 made 4, you might find some difficulty, and yet you are quite sure of the fact. It was easier to know it than to explain why I know it. If you were asked to prove that 2 and 2 made 4, you might find some difficulty, and yet you are quite sure of the fact. It was easier to know it than to explain why I know it. If you were asked to prove that 2 and 2 made 4, you might find some difficulty, and yet you are quite sure of the fact. It was easier to know it than to explain why I know it. If you were asked to prove that 2 and 2 made 4, you might find some difficulty, and yet you are quite sure of the fact. Okay, hopefully you can hear that. If you can't, make sure you're using really good headphones or the best headphones available to you. You should be able to hear that. It's a subtle difference. This is a good thing. This plugin generally won't let you go too far, although I would say at 100% with some recordings, I was finding that it kind of sounded a little dull, maybe a little too softened, if you will. But the nice thing about this is it can take care of your sibilance and any harshness in the mid frequencies pretty much automatically. All you have to do is switch it to vocals, dial in amount, go too far, automatically go to 100% and just see what happens, and then back off until it starts to sound better. And then go ahead and toggle the bypass so you can hear the original audio and the audio that's going through the Soften plugin. I think this is a really nice, simple tool. Now, as I mentioned before, this is available to everyone who owns a audio interface from Focusrite. And if you come into your Focusrite account, and you'll need to create an account and register your device to get this, then you can come over here to My Software, just click on Audio Effects, and it's right here, Sonnox Soften. Click View Details, and that'll take you to a page that'll explain to you exactly how to download it, get it installed, and running. Hope that was helpful. Get out there and make some great sound. Talk to you again soon.